Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now welcome to episode 2 of the mini-series within Challenger Spectate, where we are watching all of the Damwon Gaming players in solo queue. So again, just to remind you, MSI, the mid-season invitational tournament, is happening very soon, and that means teams from around the world are boot camping currently in Europe, and they're playing on EU West. So last episode we watched Showmaker on Silas, his most played champion, currently on EU West. We are now watching Ghost on the account called Kia, the new K3. Obviously, again, I had to explain this last game, but Damwon got bought out by Kia, the car company, and they're now Damwon Kia. And it seems some of the players, 3 of the players, have actually got adverts for cars part of their summoner name, which is kind of funny. Like, to me, that's actually hilarious. But yeah, so that's why Ghost is called Kia, the new K3. But we're going to watch and see what they do. It is worth knowing, I have seen a couple interviews already of some of the players who aren't even Damwon, but other servers, how they're adapting to EU West. And it is hilarious that a lot of them are finding it difficult, which is not surprising, because EU West is a difficult server. But one of the big key things that is apparently the big difference is how much EU West focuses on dragons. So I've always told you guys, I love dragons. When my jungler doesn't go for them, I get triggered. That's the EU West way. We focus dragons. We really fight for them more than the other servers, even Korea. So that's been quite interesting to me to see that. But yeah, we're watching Jinx. What I'm going to quickly do as well, I'm just going to quickly get Ghost's profile up and see if Jinx is his most played. Because obviously Showmaker's was his most played was Silas, because Silas is a little bit broken right now. And obviously he's going to use that. K3. But obviously this matchup, worth also noting, is a pretty spicy matchup in terms of champions. Lulu Jinx versus Bard Kai'Sa. Very competitive lane for both sides here. Obviously Lulu herself would have just had buffs recently. Bard is one of the best solo queue supports. Nearly dead. Whoa, nearly dead. Lulu's nearly dead too. Both AD carries having a pretty good DPS track. But in the whole benefit, look at the big thing that I would say the Jinx has done well is look at the health bar. So Jinx has maintained nearly full health, while Kai'Sa, yeah, is a little bit, you know, she's not weak, but she's taken like half health too. So that's been a big difference, is avoiding damage. And yeah, the Lulu kind of took the brunt of it. But yeah, worth also noting, in the last game we watched Showmaker, it was actually against G2 Caps. I don't know if anybody on the enemy team is a known pro, but obviously that's going to happen as well occasionally. We're in Challenger solo queue here, so, you know, they're going to be playing against the other pros that are on EU West too. But anyway, Ghost's profile right now, most played champion, believe it or not, is actually Lee Sin, even though Ghost is the AD carry. But Jinx is the second most played champion, with currently only 10 games of Jinx, but with a 70% win rate. And you do remind yourself, because a lot of people go, how are these accounts in Challenger and stuff already? Riot give increased MMR accounts to pros that are boot camping. So these accounts, I believe, started in Diamond 1. They're not instantly in Diamond 1. They've got to do placements, but after they do the placements of the 5 or 10 games, they're literally put into Diamond 1 straight away. So if you're ever wondering, how are they climbing so quick? That's how. And that's why sometimes as well, like, you know, this is Damwon Ghost. He's at the moment got about 60 games played, maybe just a bit over, but he has a 58% win rate. Everybody will be like, dude, why doesn't he have a 90% win rate? He's one of the best AD carries in the world. That's why, because he's already starting in Diamond 1. It's not like he's starting in Iron or Gold. He's starting in Diamond 1. And then after the placements, they're practically all going to have Master plus MMR anyway. Meanwhile, Morgana in the area, you can see Gwen is the jungler this game. So yes, some people are playing that champion jungle, arguably because she's just a little bit overtuned right now. You know, she is designed to be a top. Some people are playing her mid in specific matchups, but jungling, oh god, this Morgana is aggressive. Wow, that is actually crazy how aggressive that Morgana's been. So she blind queued here, and this Morgana is like really, I don't know, aggressive. She doesn't want to give this up, which is a bit weird, but she's going for it. Jinx, though, getting a decent amount of damage. Bard could be in trouble, but there's a Morgana still staying. Maybe a little bit too much, because this is going to affect XPs and stuff. But what red team needs to do is wave clear the minions or go aggressive in the 1v2, which they are doing. But Bard is back on his way. Bard's flashing. Good flash reactions. Nice dodge. And yeah, that's a lot of wasted time for blue team. That was a little bit weird for that Morgana to be like that, I don't know, obsessed stopping the bases. Like, it's good to stop bases, but that was insane amounts. And, you know, it'll end up fine. Farm even, and obviously, you know, farm even for Jinx. And she's not gone back yet, which that does show the Kai'Sa's doing quite well. The Kai'Sa's based and is even farm. But obviously that all craziness would have affected Jinx's farm a little bit. It is also worth knowing, meanwhile, Morgana goes mid. We spoke about it last game. If you're an EUS Challenger player, it's happened every single server you go on, to different degrees. But, you know, you're an EUS Challenger player, not a pro. And you know that, oh, that's Showmaker, or this is Ghost, or whatever. You know, these are World Champion players. You might slightly play differently. You might camp them more. Even if it logically doesn't make sense to camp them in some games, you might, because you want to send a message going, welcome to EUS Challenger. It is a known thing. You know, when Western pros have boot camped in Korea, they have always said, oh yeah, we get camped insane amounts, because the Koreans know, oh, this is a pro from North America, I want to wreck him. So you have to kind of sometimes take that into account as well. Meanwhile, the Morgana is now 3-0, and this, by the way, is post-nerf Morgana. So this is where she's doing 185% damage to jungle creeps with her W, not 200%. And obviously, yes, it's not really affected the champion at all. I don't know if Morgana jungle is going to be to stay, because it seems that kind of weird pick that Riot's got in their mind right now, but within the next couple patches, it's going to like just disappear completely. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it's going to stay in the game, because inherently Morgana isn't a jungler. She can just jungle right now. But anyway, tier 2 boots purchase for the Jinx. Now, why tier 2 boots? Again, this is maybe the smart nature of the player. Well, if you look at the enemy team, what do they have? They have a Bard that is all about landing the Q in his ultimate. They have a Morgana, which is about landing your bind. If you could just simply dodge those, that's a big deal. So movement speed is actually a very big deal in terms of dodging all of this stuff. And that is probably why the tier 2 boot rush has happened. Very little vision now on for red team. You know, no Tribush ward. I'd be a little bit worried that Morgana would be making her way slowly. And you can see like the aggression from Jinx, maintaining farm pressure, auto attack pressure, and poking at the same time. That's kind of the skill of an AD carry, doing it all at the same time with also maintaining good farm. And you could definitely see the difference between, I'd say, the Kai'Sa and the Jinx. Like, yes, the Kai'Sa's farming fine, but there's definitely a difference in pressure in this. So Gwen will kill the Morgana, big top lane fight, both people in top end up dead, and now that you know that Morgana's top and she's died, you now as the Jinx can have that aggression, that, you know, confidence that, oh, she's not coming bot lane, I can now go really aggressive if I wanted to. Level 6 finally hit. Obviously, Kai'Sa level 6 before the Jinx. Why? Because the Bard's already been, like, not in lane somewhat. It's a Bard. He goes to roam for his passive. Bard currently is level 4. So he is down on XP most definitely. And, you know, again, you can see Bard is up here. So it's lessening the pressure of a Kai'Sa. Now, it's not a bad thing that the Bard's roaming. It's part of his design as a champ. But you have to, it's a time and a place. Like, if it's going to hurt your lane phase, don't do it. The lucky thing is the Kai'Sa is still maintaining good farm. And arguably, you could see that, you know, Kai'Sa's a scaling champion. She's bought a Cull early. Again, Cull is kind of like sending a message a lot of the time of, I just want to kind of get through this lane phase. I'm kind of more focusing on my late game rather than my early game, because Cull is an investment item. So that kind of body language from Kai'Sa may be telling the Bard, we're not going aggressive in this lane. Like, the only time we'll go aggressive is if Morgana comes and then we have a gank. In a 2v2, we're not doing anything. It's very possible. Meanwhile, Gwen is in the area, though, pinging the dragon, so I'd expect red team to hyper-push this in, get it into the tower ASAP, and then hopefully make their way over to the dragon and help out. But again, EUS people apparently are obsessed with dragons, which I would agree with, and maybe Koreans aren't. So you can see the Jinx is not bothered about moving over. Gwen gets that alone. Again, if I was the jungler, I'd be a bit nervous, like, oh god, can my bot lane come help me with this? But just isn't happening in this game. So enemy team on the back foot. Jinx rocket early, by the way. With then the W gets the snipe. That was a bit of a weird order to do it, but it worked out. Kai'Sa trying to escape. Gold card with the flash twist fate, and she will end up dead too. And yeah, the pressure on the bot lane is unfortunate, but they both go down. So, you gonna go bot lane AD carry, whatever you want to say. It's in a very strong place right now. The role itself does arguably the most damage in the game, but it is a vulnerable role. You know, it is that lane that you can have 4 people gank it in 10 minutes. You just can. And that is the point. You know, Doublelift recently, he made like a comment saying, like, everybody will complain about AD carry, but it has to have some weakness. The strength of it is it does the most damage in the game. the weakness of it is, yes, if you miss position or whatever, you're going to end up dead, or you're going to get focused a lot because you are the AD carry. You're the biggest threat in the game for the enemy team. So that's why, again, you got to sometimes think about that when you are AD carry. Yes, it's annoying how much they get focused, but it is for a valid reason. If you leave an AD carry alone, guess what? They're going to get a pentakill. Like, they just are. But anyway, Jinx going back. And so far, what I would say, again, we watched Showmaker, and there was nothing, like, insanely special. Like, it was just clean. And that's kind of the point that we all watch these good players, and the more we watch them, the more people will realize it ain't about fancy mechanics and doing insane flash combos or anything. It's just about being clean. It's about getting good farm. It's about landing that pressure, landing those skill shots when it does matter. Like, that's what it's more about, rather than being insanely mechanical and going for every outplay possible. Clean play is better than outplay most of the time. Just clean, steady Eddie play. Most of the best players in the world will just be that. But obviously, the world of YouTube and streaming and stuff, I mean, I think it's calmed down in recent years, but a couple years ago, meanwhile, they might try to dive the Jinx, which this is risky. They're doing the tower, lovely mines, lovely flash, and now, bye-bye, just dead. That was clean. Again, that was a little bit special. That was lovely. So that is what we're looking at when we're seeing one of the best players in the world, is having that confidence of going, you're trying to dive me? Okay, bring it on. And he just kills one of them in a 1v2. That's really good. I lost my track of thought I was going to say before. But yeah, a few years ago, that was it. I think a lot of people were on the, you have to be flashy, you know, watching these Riven one-trick highlight videos. They do all the insane combos and Lee Sin combos. I think people have realized that isn't how you climb on the most part. Yeah, it's cool to watch them, but you don't climb by doing that. Like, you climb by playing smart and clean, and you limit as many mistakes as you possibly can. Limiting mistakes is more important than doing some insane outplay. Gwen in the area, though, finds a Bard. Oh, that's a risky Gwen play. She's following the portal, and she will end up dead. So, if I had to guess, I don't think that Gwen meant to do that. I think the Bard E went down. I think she accidentally clicked it, because I really don't think she meant to go, you know, basically into a tier 2 turret range at 12 minutes into the game. Yeah, you're going to end up dead. But unfortunately for the Gwen, she, I guess, accidentally clicked it. You'll also notice a big thing recently. Jinx has been left alone. So the Lulu has just started to roam a bit more. And Lulu's now level 6, the same as Bard, but Jinx has now gained XP advantage over the Kai'Sa, who previously had XP advantage. Why has Lulu done that? Well, a lot of it could be having confidence in your AD carry. Like, dude, you're fine. You can 1v2. I'll go try to do things around the map. Because the Jinx has been fine. Like, her farm is decent. She killed him in a 1v2 tower dive situation. Like, she's done really well, which is good to see. And now the roam potential happening. There is a Karma mid, which is a bit weird, but obviously it's just the way of those support items. Bard going to try and make his way out, but doesn't. But yeah, the support items, personally, I still think is a big problematic thing when you're having Karma in mid, building as a support, or Seraphine in mid, building as a support. I would rather, like, if you have these support champions in mid or top, I would rather than when they're played there, actually play as a mage. Like, not build support. Like, this Karma has bought the Moonstone, and I can guarantee her next item is most likely going to be the Staff of the River, whatever the hell. Like, that's a support build. But she's mid lane. Like, to me, it just is weird. Like, I don't know. It's just not what I like, but it's just the way of League of Legends nowadays. Alright, so mid lane now by the Jinx. So standard play. You're the AD carry. You've taken the enemy bot lane. Where are you going to go next? You're going to go mid. You're going to try and get that tower. You could go top, obviously, as well. But for now, she's going to go mid. Finding a Bard, doing a tiny bit of damage. Nothing crazy. Nearly, actually, half health. With the Lulu, actually more damage than I thought it was going to be. And we'll end up making the Bard have to escape. And then return to mid lane. Worth also noting, we haven't really spoken about top lane at all this game. It is a Set versus a Riven. We will probably, in the next big recording session that I do, I might play a Set game. Apparently, people are a bit confused why he got a buff. Meanwhile, they look for a gank. Lulu probably going to end up dead. Oh, she's not dead. Guardian procced and saved her life. Enemy team now overextended. Jinx going to go. Oh, that W, though. Kai'Sa kind of walked into it. And with the rocket, she doesn't get the kill, but nearly. That was, again, really nicely played. Weird Bard ulti. I don't think they've got any backup engaged for that. And with all that pressure, they're going to go for the tier 1 tower in mid. Really clean. And that Guardian proc, holy moly. Lovely flash by Twisted Fate. Gonna kill the Morgana. Boom, the Jinx gets it. And now the continuous pressure. And this is what I think Jinx is. Why is she such a good AD carry? She's obviously always scaled. Her damage is always nice. She's got decent utility, but she's so snowbally. Like, her passive, let's be honest, is a quite snowbally ability of I kill one person, I get a massive speed up, and I can catch up to the next person. That's a big deal. And yeah, seeing an aggressive Jinx is always lovely. But this is like an aggressive Jinx that's calculated. This is like one of the most calculated Jinx performances I think I've ever seen. It's just very clean. It's very precise, and it's really nice to see. So obviously Gale Force purchase for Jinx. She does enough DPS that, yeah, you can go Kraken Slayer, for example, but she does enough damage that she doesn't need it if they don't have, like, a full tank, and they don't on the enemy team this game. There's a massive storm outside I can hear, by the way. But, yeah, obviously Jinx's weakness inherently is lack of mobility, and obviously Gale Force is, I don't know, because the mythic items are about covering up champion weaknesses, she now has mobility with Gale Force. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I don't know. You decide, but she now has a dash as Jinx. Alright, so Karma ulti with the Q doesn't really do anything. She's going to just, you know, stay in mid lane. Now, what I would be surprised with right now, I'm a bit surprised that they haven't gone top. Maybe, oh yeah, I forget to do this, by the way, sorry. If we put objective timers, so you now have objective timers down here. Unfortunately, we can't have that on by default, it seems. But maybe they're not going there because when's Dragon? Dragon is coming up in 4 minutes. They could definitely have gotten top lane. So I'm surprised that the Jinx and the Lulu didn't go top. You could like help the Riven out, who's obviously struggled a little bit. You could push this in and then go for this tower. You could do that all before the Dragon spawns, but they just haven't done that for whatever reason. And you know, if you had the top lane pressure, then that opens up the Herald pressure too. So I have no idea. No idea. So Twisted Fate, I think, just pinged top lane, so they might be looking to make a top lane play as a team. Anyway, Jinx, sorry, Twisted Fate ults mid, Gale Force forward with the auto, does get the kill. So that split, like, I'm doing a play this Twisted Fate has, that's also quite good. Really good pressure by him, but to be fair, he also has, you know, not trying to be mean to a Karma. I like the champion, I just don't think it should be really mid. He's been given a free lane. You know, let's be honest, he's against a support in mid. You're going to be given a free lane as Twisted Fate. Even like in the 1v1, you're given a free lane, but he's got a free map. Karma's not going to have enough pressure to stop a Twisted Fate ulting away. Like, she just isn't. She's building support. So yeah, Twisted Fate has had kind of a free game. They are trying to make a top lane play, by the way, which Riven is nearly dead. Look at the healing. Oh, God, healing in League. So she survives because of the healing, and Twisted Fate obviously helps. And that will open up the top lane tier 1 as well. So they do end up getting that. And like I mentioned, with the top lane tier 1 pressure, it's opening up the Herald pressure. But Jinx didn't get involved. She is getting ultied. She might be in trouble. Will she flash? She flashes to the left. I think she could have flashed more this way, but she will hopefully make her way out. Never mind the enemy team going all together, but the red team making their way as well. And yeah, you go for one of our teammates. Okay, you're in trouble. 2 of you at least are dead. I think one of them may have got away. I think the Karma escaped in the end. And yes, Morgana, for whatever reason, maybe Tilt, I don't know, like, she's playing well. She's had a pretty good game, but my team's now losing me the game. I'm just bot lane. I'm going to farm. I don't know why. Because, again, Morgana, you could probably say, is a pretty good teamfight champion. I wouldn't want a Morgana split pushing, but that seems to be what is happening. So, RFC by Jinx, by the way, complete. Obviously, a great item to get that extra little, you know, engage, auto-attack in or whatever. Always nice. And probably next would be building towards the Infinity Edge. Worth also noting, I haven't gone through the runes, but the runes for Jinx as follows. So, Lethal Tempo, Presence of Mind, Legend Bloodline with Cut Down. So, again, you could argue that, you know, it hasn't really done much this game, but Cut Down is kind of like her Kraken Slayer in a way. The enemy team has more health and etc. does bonus damage. Obviously, it's not the same, but it does work a little bit like that. And then you've got Inspiration, Biscuit Delivery, Cosmic Insight, so actually cooldown reduction for a Jinx, and runes are attack speed, attack damage, magic resistance in lane. So literally no armor. You know, she's against a Kai'Sa, obviously does hybrid damage, and she's gone for more magic resist than armor. Why? Well, again, Kai'Sa does hybrid damage, Bard does magic damage, and the enemy jungler is an AP jungler. So maybe there is more magic damage in this game for her, so she's taking magic resist. But it's good to see. Alright, so I'd expect maybe, again, Dragon is a minute away, but the big fight is happening. Twisted Fate ultis. They are looking for the enemy. That's a weird play by the Karma. who then gets killed by Jinx Rocket. The movement speed passive is making her way over. Don't think it's going to be enough, though. It might be. She gets the auto. She gets the W. Riven in the area. They get the stun, and boom, Riven gets the kill. Morgana was, I think, in this bush for a while, which is a bit weird. And now, as a team, they're maintaining the pressure. Eye the Herald spawned, going into the enemy base, and weirdly, Set is split pushing top. So this is where you got to, like, question sometimes, why are you there? Set should 100% be back right now. Maybe with a Set Morgana combo, you could have done something, but without him, the game is probably over. But yeah, so this Jinx, you know, this is now episode 2 of watching a Damwon member. Very clean. Like, that is, I think I'm going to be repeating that word a lot in this series. Is just, we're watching insanely clean play, very few mistakes, and just nice play. Confident play, definitely. Like, you know, going for that 1v2, they were tower diving the Jinx, she had confidence to outplay them and kill them, was great. But it's just clean. That is the key thing. It's nothing fancy. It's just good. But that was episode 2 of the mini-series watching the Damwon members. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, throw a like on the video, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.